Imagine sitting across from someone whose signature moves markets, whose phone calls reshape industries, whose calendar is guarded more fiercely than state secrets. They are leaning forward, not checking their watch, not scanning the room for someone more important. They are focused entirely on you, asking questions, seeking your perspective, and wondering how to keep you close. This is not fantasy. This is the daily reality of a select few who have discovered something most people never grasp. The powerful do not collect friends. They collect necessities. And becoming necessary follows patterns as precise as mathematics. Here is the paradox that should reshape how you see every interaction from this moment forward. The rich and powerful have everything. Access to anyone. Resources without limit. Experts on speed dial. Yet they remain perpetually hungry for certain individuals. They pursue them, compete for their attention, pay extraordinary premiums simply to remain in their orbit. What do these sought-after individuals possess that billions of dollars cannot simply purchase? It is not talent. Talent floods the market. It is not credentials. Those can be acquired. It is not even brilliance. Brilliant people often die unknown and unrewarded. It is something more subtle, more psychological, more devastating in its effectiveness. And it can be learned. The first pattern the sought-after master is the architecture of perception itself. Most people approach the powerful hoping to impress. They showcase achievements. They demonstrate competence. They radiate capability at full brightness, believing this earns respect. It earns suspicion. Carl Jung understood that the ego is the most fragile structure in human psychology. The more someone has built their identity around being exceptional, the more threatening they find others who shine too brightly. The powerful person watches your impressive display, and their unconscious mind runs a calculation, threat assessment. Not consciously, not deliberately. But somewhere beneath awareness, alarm bells begin ringing. The sought-after individual understands this mathematics intimately. They know that making others feel brilliant is infinitely more valuable than appearing brilliant yourself. They ask questions that allow the powerful person to demonstrate wisdom. They frame insights as natural extensions of what the powerful person already believes. This is not sycophancy. Sycophants are transparent and despised. This is strategic humility. The understanding that influence flows not to those who demand attention, but to those who direct it. Viktor Frankl observed that those who have meaning can endure any manner of circumstance. The sought-after individual has meaning beyond any single relationship. They do not need to impress because their self-worth does not depend on external validation. This security allows them to elevate others without diminishing themselves. And the powerful, starving for genuine engagement rather than performance, find this irresistible. The second pattern involves the deliberate cultivation of mystery. Transparency has become a cultural religion. Share everything. Be authentic. Wear your heart visibly at all times. This advice serves those who wish to remain ordinary. The powerful operate differently, though they understand that knowledge creates leverage, that predictability creates vulnerability. The readable person is the controllable person. When you approach someone influential and your eyes broadcast exactly what you want, you have already lost the negotiation. They see the hunger. They calibrate their response accordingly. They know precisely how little they can offer while keeping you engaged. The sought-after individual is a cipher. They converse about art, philosophy, shared observations about human nature, everything except their agenda. They leave the powerful person intrigued rather than informed. Friedrich Nietzsche wrote about the value of masks. the understanding that depth often requires surface concealment. The sought-after individual wears many masks, not to deceive, but to maintain optionality. When the powerful cannot determine your motives, they become curious. They project their own interpretations. They find themselves thinking about you in quiet moments, wondering what you actually want, why you seem to need nothing from them. This uncertainty creates space for respect to develop, uncontaminated by transactional expectation. The third pattern requires understanding the only language power truly respects. Most people seeking access make a critical error. They appeal to kindness. They present their struggles. They ask for chances they believe they deserve. They speak the language of merit and fairness. The powerful smile politely and do nothing, not because they are cruel, because they are exhausted. Every day brings dozens of people who deserve chances, who have compelling stories, who would benefit from help. The mathematics of mercy do not scale. The sought-after individual speaks a different language entirely. They speak in terms of problem solved, advantages created, and friction eliminated. They study the powerful person's actual situation. What keeps them awake at night? What rival threatens their position? What inefficiency drains their energy? What goal remains frustratingly out of reach? Then they position themselves as the solution, not asking for an opportunity, offering capability, not requesting mentorship, providing specific value. Jean-Paul Sartre understood that we are condemned to be free, that we cannot escape the burden of creating ourselves through action. The sought-after individual has created themselves into something genuinely useful, not generally impressive, but specifically valuable to this particular person's particular situation. This transforms the dynamic entirely. You are no longer a supplicant hoping for favor. You are a potential partner in solving problems they desperately want solved. The fourth pattern seems counterintuitive until you understand the psychology beneath it. Modern culture worships availability. Respond instantly. Accept every invitation. Be present at all times. Signal dedication through constant accessibility. This guarantees you will be taken for granted. The sought-after individual understands scarcity at a molecular level. They know that anything abundantly available becomes valueless, that attention freely given commands no premium. The person always present becomes invisible through being very omnipresent. Arthur Schopenhauer observed that we take for granted what is always there, reserving our longing for what might be lost. The sought-after individual engineers their presence to trigger this longing. They are fully engaged when present, warm, focused, making the other person feel genuinely seen. Then they disappear into their own life, their own mission, their own priorities that clearly do not revolve around anyone else. This absence does psychological work that presence never could. It creates open loops. It generates curiosity. It proves that you have a life valuable enough to demand your attention. When you return, your presence is experienced as a reward rather than a routine. The powerful person feels they have gained something by your engagement rather than simply expecting it as a constant background. Withdrawal is not game playing. It is an honest acknowledgement that your time is your most precious resource, and precious resources command respect. The fifth pattern involves becoming something the powerful desperately lack, yet rarely find. The rich and powerful live inside bubbles of comfortable deception. Everyone around them has an incentive to tell them what they want to hear. Employees fear consequences. Advisors fear losing contracts. Friends fear losing access. This creates an information vacuum that slowly becomes dangerous. Decisions get made on faulty premises. Blind spots grow unchallenged. The powerful person senses the emptiness but cannot escape it because the very power that created the bubble prevents its penetration. The sought-after individual becomes the rarest thing in this ecosystem, a source of truth. They develop the courage to deliver difficult messages skillfully. They learn to disagree respectfully without threatening the relationship. They offer a perspective uncorrupted by the need to please. This is extraordinarily rare and correspondingly valuable. Machiavelli himself, often misread as advocating pure manipulation, understood that the prince most needed advisors who would speak the truth. The sought-after individual becomes this advisor, not by harsh confrontation, but by caring enough to risk the relationship for the other person's genuine benefit. The powerful person may initially resist. Their ego may bristle. But over time, they come to treasure the one person in their world who provides reality rather than reflection. The sixth pattern requires understanding that information has become the true currency of power. The powerful are often surprisingly isolated. Their elevation removes them from the texture of ordinary life. They lose contact with how things actually work at ground level. They become dependent on reports that are filtered, sanitized, and strategically incomplete. The sought-after individual becomes their eyes and ears in territories they cannot access. Not through gossip. Gossip is cheap and unreliable. Through genuine intelligence gathering, understanding what competitors are planning, sensing shifts in markets or culture before they become obvious, perceiving problems as forming while they remain solvable. This requires developing genuine expertise in something, cultivating networks in spaces the powerful cannot penetrate, paying attention to patterns others overlook. When you can consistently deliver insights that the powerful person cannot get elsewhere, you become indispensable. You are no longer outside their circle. You are integral to their ability to navigate reality. The key is maintaining your monopoly on the source. If they can get the same information without you, your value evaporates. Keep the mechanism hidden. Deliver the fruit. The seventh pattern leverages one of the most powerful forces in human psychology. Nothing bonds people faster than shared opposition. The identification of a common enemy creates instant alliance. It establishes us against them, the few who understand, surrounded by the many who do not. The sought-after individual identifies what the powerful person opposes, not to manufacture false agreement, but to locate genuine philosophical alignment. Perhaps they share contempt for mediocrity. Perhaps they both despise bureaucratic inefficiency. Perhaps they rage against the same institutional failures or competitive threats. When you validate these frustrations, you validate the powerful person's struggle. You confirm their perception that they are fighting something important. You offer yourself as an ally in that battle. This must be genuine. False alignment will eventually be detected, and the relationship will collapse. But where authentic shared opposition exists, naming it explicitly creates conspiracy. And there is no bond quite like the bond between co-conspirators. The eighth pattern requires becoming what others cannot be. Emotionally stable when everything else is chaos. The powerful carry weight most people cannot imagine. Decisions affecting thousands. Financial exposure that would paralyze ordinary minds. Pressure from every direction, constant and unrelenting. Most people add to this pressure. They bring problems. They bring drama. They bring the static of their own unmanaged emotions into every interaction. The sought-after individual becomes calm. When the powerful person is frantic, they are slow. When the room is panicking, they are steady. They absorb chaos and reflect clarity. 3 words become their signature. It is handled. Nothing is more seductive to the pressured mind than the knowledge that someone else is managing the crisis, that this particular weight has been lifted. The sought-after individual becomes a sanctuary. Meetings with them lowers cortisol rather than raising it. The powerful person begins craving their presence, not for any transaction, but simply for how they feel in their company. In a world of fire, become water. In a world of noise, become silent. The powerful will pay any price for peace. The ninth pattern is the foundation beneath all others. The sought-after individual needs nothing from the powerful person. This seems paradoxical. Why connect with power if you need nothing? But this needlessness is precisely what makes connection possible. Neediness is repulsive to those with abundance. They have developed sophisticated detection systems for identifying agendas. They feel when someone approaches with hunger in their eyes, and they retreat, or worse, exploit. But the person who appears complete, whose life is evidently full and satisfying, whose engagement is offered freely without ulterior motive, this creates confusion, and then fascination, then pursuit. The sought-after individual has built a life genuinely worth living regardless of access or external validation. They have a purpose beyond accumulation. They have internal richness that does not depend on anyone else's resources. When the powerful person offers something, the sought-after individual can decline without desperation. When relationships become transactional, they can walk away. This willingness to walk away is the ultimate leverage. The powerful are surrounded by fluid people, bending and shaping themselves to gain favor. When they encounter someone solid, someone who respects them without worshiping them, they are magnetically drawn. Be the rock. Be the sovereign of your own meaning. Connect from wholeness, never from emptiness. The integration of these patterns creates something greater than their sum. You are not learning manipulation. You are learning fluency in the language to actually speak. You are understanding human psychology deeply enough to navigate its currents rather than being swept away by them. The powerful are not alien beings. They are humans operating under specific pressures with specific psychological needs. When you understand these needs clearly, connection becomes natural rather than forced. Dim your light strategically while cultivating genuine brightness. Maintain mystery while remaining warm. Speak in solutions rather than needs. Engineer scarcity while delivering value. Offer truth while respecting position. Trade in intelligence while protecting sources. Identify shared opposition while remaining positive. Provide emotional stability while engaging fully. Need nothing while giving generously. These are not contradictions. They are the dance of sophisticated engagement. The phone call that changes everything is not luck. It is the natural consequence of becoming someone worth calling. The invitation to inner circles is not random fortune. It is the predictable result of understanding what those circles actually need. The powerful person leaning forward, focused entirely on you, wondering how to keep you close. This is simply what happens when you stop trying to impress and start becoming genuinely impressive. The architecture is invisible until you see it. Then it is everywhere. And once you see it, you can never return to the confusion of not seeing.